Hi, treasures. Please like and subscribe, and thank you so much. And here's
Hey guys,
Foodie.
welcome back to another video. Today's video is just going to be me and of course some Caesar juice, which is my favorite orange and carrot juice from here. It's so good. Yeah. All right, I need a beverage while I'm going to talk because I'm going to be talking in this video. It's a sit down and talk video. I want to do a series of videos where I'm just talking about things that I know you guys would want to know about, specifically pertaining to this travel journey, because I do see a lot of comments, people wondering, being my size, as big as I am, how did you travel to the Middle East? One of the especially to one of the hottest places on the planet, Kuwait.
Right.
If you've watched my channel, you've been with me for a while, you've seen my past videos, you've seen my life up until now. So especially somebody like me, it's very shocking for someone like me to do something like that. I just want to say that I think this is a lesson that I don't think that people really understand, that what people show you online is just what they show you online. I don't think that people really understand fully everything that's going on inside of me, and that's, you're not meant to. These are things that I keep personal in my life. And I have shared a lot of things with you guys. Yes, I have been very, very open. I'm going to be open to what I feel comfortable with being open with. So anyway, my point with all that was, I think that people don't really fully know me. They don't really know that I have this sense of burning desire to just sometimes experience life in a way I never thought that I would ever do it. And that's how I like to live my life, kind of spontaneously, just, you know, just crazy life. I love it. I love having a crazy life. Right?
Oh, well, good.
So this part 1, or episode 1, is going to be talking about my experience with the actual traveling as an obese person, or overweight person, and anything from how I handled the heat, the seats, and just all of the extra activity. Basically, again, if you're kind of new here, or just a reminder, I'm a person who has come from a very sedentary lifestyle. I'm from Canada, and I'm not a person who loves the heat. I'm not a person who loves activity and all of those things that I have to do here. But I am a person who does love to challenge myself when I feel the time is right. I have done that in my past, and I'll get into that now.
Okay,
so just
let's
a bit
do
of a
it.
history with flying. I know that flying fat is a huge topic for people who are overweight. It's a big anxiety. Traveling when you're overweight, doing anything when you're excessively overweight is extremely difficult.
I'm
for a lot
sure.
of people, including myself, and it makes traveling extra difficult, of course. I first went on an airplane when I was 10, and I was a pretty chubby kid, but I don't really remember the experience other than just my ears being blocked and my mom giving me chewing gum and insisting, chew gum, your ears won't block. Sorry, I talk a lot with my hands, I know. I'm very, very happy, and I really
she talks a lot with her hands because she wants to show off that ring.
I was 10, and we were going to Florida to visit my grandfather, who resides in Florida. And that's all I remember about the flight. I wasn't terribly nervous. Now, fast forward to about 2001, I had traveled around Canada in a program called Cashapp, which was funded by the Canadian government. At the time, they would pay for youth to get out of their house and experience Canada, do something different, do some volunteer work. So I would
some
volunteer
exercise.
40 hours a week, actually, in Cashapp. And I remember purposely pushing myself to do this. No one in my family believed that I would go for 7 months, travel around Canada as a 17-year-old, alone. I was homesick at first. I do have some series on that on my channel and some videos, but that was the second time I had to use an airplane a couple of times, and it was a small plane. I remember that. I was 200 pounds, I think approximately 200 pounds at the time. Now, I don't remember feeling much anxiety about flying or about the seatbelt or anything like that. 200 pounds is still not terribly super obese to the point where you won't fit on a plane, or you fear that you won't fit in public transportation. And actually that brings me to my point where you don't actually worry about fitting anywhere until it actually happens, that dreadful, embarrassing moment. Sorry, I need some juice.
Makes me want to go to sleep too.
The juice and the pickles here, top notch. So over the years, my weight increased over the years, and it got to the weight that it was, which was very excessive, especially for health and everything else like that. You guys know I'm a person who's all about body positivity, loving who you are regardless of your shape, size, whatever. But when it comes to damaging your health, that's a bit of a different issue for me. But regardless, I do still think that people, while they're dealing with their health issues, have a right to be comfortable and happy traveling and living life and not feeling like a complete outcast. But I did travel to Cuba. That was the first trip in April where I was feeling some anxiety. Okay, I'm going to say I was as terrified as I've probably been thinking about a flight. I would, in preparation, I would like obsessively just look for seats that, maybe a window seat, maybe at the back, no one will sit beside me. I was hoping, am I going to have to buy 2 seats? Just all these anxieties were flooding in my brain. People were, you need 2 seats, don't put yourself on someone else, don't take up space. No, I'm going to tell you, never be afraid to take up space, all right? Enough. However,
wow.
When I got on the plane for Cuba, the Sunwing plane, I did do a video on that, but that was my first experience. I think that broke the ice for me, and I kind of expected all economy seats to be kind of similar standard size. Now, I'm an apple shape, so from the side, I'm more larger than wide like this. I don't have very wide hips, so I carry most of my weight in my abdomen. Therefore, I was able to fit in the seat all right. It was a little snug, but it wasn't uncomfortable. It wasn't digging in. However, I did need a seatbelt extender because the seatbelt was like coming like this. I needed that extra space. So I had the seatbelt extender, and they were very nice. I just asked the flight attendant. Now, those are things that if you are embarrassed to do, because people did look at me. Like, literally, the plane was like already filling up.
Right.
And the stewardess was kind of like busy a little bit, and I had to just kind of like say, hey, can I have a seatbelt extender? And everyone watched me ask her, like everyone. So, and that to me, honestly, I guess I'm just lucky. I just don't place. I've learned over the years, I guess it's taken a bit of mental work, I guess, but I've just never really cared too much about what people think about me in public. You guys know that. So luckily for me, I was like, hey, I'm the kind of person, let's just put it this way. I'm the kind of person that's like, no matter who I am, what size I am, what I look like, it's like, I will go anywhere in the world and be like, hey, here I am. This is how I am. I'm not going to apologize for it. So that's how I dealt with the Sunwing situation. Now for this trip, specifically, I flew with Qatar Airlines. I heard that it was a bit more comfortable. Maybe the seats were a bit larger. So I just figure, you know what, I'll just ask for a seatbelt extender. It's a longer flight, but I thought, hey, I can do this. So I just have that attitude. I can do this. You can do this. You're going to do this. And I just do it. I don't know. I just do it. And maybe a part of it is just I'm kind of a bit of an adrenaline junkie a little bit, where in a sense where I like to push
a little
myself,
bit,
and I find that even more now. I'm loving pushing myself even more. So what I have to say about the trip, when I got to the Montreal airport, the walking wasn't too bad. It wasn't too far. I had to walk to the check-in with Qatar Airlines in the Montreal airport. Now leaving Canada was where all of the I need to walk everywhere happens, and things just get more harder and hotter as I travel. So I got on the plane and my seat was like way at the back, and I heard someone say the stewardess say like, we have a full plane. So I kind of like looked at the seat beside me and I thought, oh no, 12 hours with somebody that I don't know and like maybe a strange person. I don't know. So, but I knew it was a possibility. So, but I had a window seat. That was the best thing for me because I love looking out the window. And of course, right at the back near the lavatory, because I want to avoid just having to walk down long aisles through people. Maybe that is a little bit of an insecurity. I don't know, but yeah. The lavatory, you're all wondering about the lavatory in the planes. Actually, it's actually big enough. Like the door, I thought the door was only this big, but there's 2 doors like that and they fold in half. So you take the door and you just open it and it folds open and then you close it behind you. And actually the lavatories in the Qatar Airlines bathrooms are actually really nice. They have like eau de toilette and everything. They had like everything. And there was enough room. It was a little snug, but I actually had enough room to like stand up and move around and wash my hands and everything. So I was like, yes, okay. So that was good. I did actually get to check out the bathroom because that, honestly, airplane bathrooms, this is again just one thing. If you're a bigger person, you'll understand. Airplane bathrooms are so tiny that, yeah, it like freaked me out. I was like, oh my god, what if I get stuck? Or I don't know. It's just like all these irrational thoughts.
What kind of conversation are we having here on the woman's honeymoon? Huh? Explain that to me, you guys. Why would she be doing this, and why is she alone on her honeymoon? Foodie Beauty, do you care to elaborate on that? Thanks.
Just poured into my brain. So, but because I was at the back near the lavatory, I actually got to talk to a lot of nice people because I actually made friends with a nice Iranian woman and she was waiting to use the bathroom. There was like a queue. People would queue near my seat and I would just talk to people. So, yay. Bathroom beezing. So once I had my seatbelt extender in, and once I heard that I was waiting nervously, looking like, okay, look, the suspense. Is somebody gonna come and sit in my seat? You know, everyone's moving down the aisles, and sure enough, finally the pilot was like, all passengers on board, and nobody was sitting beside me. So I actually didn't purchase 2 seats. I never purchased 2 seats. I'm okay with the seatbelt extender. And I actually had the seat to myself because it wasn't a full plane. So I was actually really lucky. I got to put my leg up and just rest. And one thing being bigger, and especially in the abdomen area, I find is a problem on airplanes for me is the table tray. I'm not able to actually fully fold down the tray in front of me. It hits my stomach a little bit. So what I did was I actually just used the tray from the empty chair and just used that as my mealtime tray, which was fine. And the little toiletries kit they give you on the plane, I remember in my first vlog there was a little pouch with a whole bunch of things in it, and I didn't really know at the time what it was. So they give you like a toothbrush, toothpaste, they give you a pair of socks, they give you a blanket, which is in like a plastic wrapping, so a brand new blanket. When I got off the plane in Kuwait, I had to, it was so hot. It was so hot.
Yep.
Even just being in the air-conditioned airport, I could feel like myself starting to sweat a bit. And then I had to walk around. I was really tired. It was so hot. Like just the few seconds I was outside, it was so hot. It hasn't been super hot since then. It's been in the 20s, so it's not too bad. But that one day I arrived, yeah, it was really hot. Buckets of sweat. I was sweating a lot. It's a complete new environment for me and everything like that. So I just wanted to share a little bit with you about my experience traveling here. I know a lot of you have questions. And I hope I answered some of them for you.
Right.
So in closing, I guess
you know what they want.
I
love you, treasures, and I'll see you on the next one.
Hot and hard to
Remember,
do. It was
you're all beautiful.
To travel, being so overweight, but